Good morning everybody, welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great and welcome to this new video right here on Solana. We're going to do a full update here. We'll talk about what happened yesterday. Solana broke down. I mean, our main support level was right here at 144, 142. We have broken down below that. Now, it's not completely over yet. We had a strong naked POC right here at 138.5 where we bounced from, and just in general, I mean, you can see historically quite a strong level at 136, which has also been respected very often in the past. And that in combination with my views on Bitcoin makes me think that we can actually still reclaim and regain that balance and that support and that consolidating potentially. Not sure if you can call this consolidating. But this price action, at least on top of 144, I think we can get that back. But ultimately, that's what we'll talk about in this video. And as it stands right now, fundamentally, Solana is still doing fine. And this is something I reference in every video. Because I think most of you are getting a little bit sick and tired of this. But for those of you who are new to the channel, and if this might be the first Solana update you're watching on this channel, I still think it's very relevant to know that I think the fundamentals for Solana are actually still quite good. The DEX trading volumes are increasing, which I think is the best measure to see how a network is actually doing. The TVL is another measure, and that's doing a little bit worse. But ultimately, this is also still very dependent on the price of Solana, right? And I would say that at this point of time, the TVL, like if we go back, I'm not sure if we can. But yeah, so this is very interesting to see as well. The TVL is dropping down, but I would actually say this is positive because what you can see is that the TVL right now is still higher than the TVL we had at the beginning of May, while the price is trending lower, right? So that means that there's some sort of a positive divergence between the TVL and the price of Solana, because the TVL is very dependent on the price of Solana, because a lot of the value that's locked is obviously in Sol coins. But all right, so the fundamentals are still great, right? So in my last video on Solana, we also spoke about the possibility of dropping down into 125 and 115, and that would look like a good buy area. I still agree with that, right? So do I think we're going to drop down into that? That's hard to say, and it very much depends on the short term as well. But if we do, I think the fundamentals and the technicals do spell out a buy. Now, the problem now is that we were having some balance right here in this area on top of 143 right here, right? So this was some sort of a balance, which aligns slightly with the balance we had before right here at the end of April until the beginning of May, and we want to get back into that. Right, we want to get back into that balance after the breakdown we had yesterday evening. For whatever reason, I mean, yesterday evening we all of a sudden got quite a lot of bearish momentum. No news, was also not because of the financial markets. But now the question is well, can Solana reclaim that level? And honestly, the answer I have to give you is obviously, I mean, I don't know. But if I would have to spell out my best guess, I would say the answer is yes. I do think for now that this is not a real breakdown, even though a real breakdown wouldn't even be that bad unless you're max leveraged on the Solana. But no, I don't think this is a real breakdown. I think we'll be able to reclaim, and that's for multiple reasons. First of all, I think the market is quite overshorted, at least Bitcoin is, which is one of the reasons why I expect Bitcoin to bounce. Solana is very correlated to Bitcoin for about 70%, a little bit more even. So therefore it matters. And then outside of that, we've left a lot of imbalances here to the downside. And I don't really, and Solana, which you can see right here, usually rebounds a little bit over the course of the weekend into Monday. At least that's what we've seen in the last month. So yeah, therefore I do think that right now we will be able to reclaim this, and we will be able to recover a bit. But then ultimately, like, we'll stay in this balance, and from that balance, I might actually think that it's more likely we'll still drop down lower, but then later. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I think that's what you need to know regarding Solana, at least here for the short term, and then I'll keep you updated, of course. But for now, that's it. So thank you for watching. I'll see you all in my next videos, and bye.